BP from Big P's Car Audio, back with another Memphis Audio PR 1.1000. Gotta do a little fix on this. Customer claims the ports are a little messed up. Customer did a review on them, or a repair, excuse me. And it says it still don't work, so we're gonna tear into this beast and see what's wrong with it. Also bought some replacements. We'll see if they work from China. But yeah, they're a bit broken. Something about it was in the car. He took a turn, wasn't anchored, and well, you all know the rest. It jerked them out. So. Alright, we'll turn you back on when we get inside. A little record here, tearing it apart. Might as well. That way we can see what we got inside, and I'll probably fast forward this. This thing's got about 1 million Allen head screws in it, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I do have a screw gun and all that, but some of these are just easier to take apart when you just be doing the normal thing here. So. Easier to take apart with the Allen wrench than actual get the screw gun, because these are a weird size. Some of them are metric, some of them are standard. I think it's just over years of use and abuse and weather and what have you. So, this amplifier does work. He said that the audio quit working. He tried to fix it, but couldn't figure out why. I got some new ones here, straight up from China. We'll see if those actually work or not. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully they will. I know these take not like your standard RCA jack. They use a 4-pole. These are actually 3, but I'm hoping that I can just jumper the grounds. And really, I guess it wouldn't matter, especially on the in and out, because it's going to have the same grounds. So. And that's where the difference was. And I looked at the board. I've had this apart once before, and it looks like the trace just goes from one to the other, and I don't know why there's some of those corroded screws. Things are pretty ugly. Of course, the camera doesn't want to focus, so hey, we'll just have to roll with it. Anyway, back to these terminals. They have a passive ground. It passes on the board, and I don't know why they went with this design. I've got another amplifier I gotta fix just like it, so we're gonna see what we can do to make these work. So, we'll get the front cover off here, and like I said, get the camera here. Customer tried to do a little fix of his own. He got a little bit of epoxy in there. Right here on top. That's fine, you know. Let's try to fix it. But he said it wouldn't work. And you'll see when we take the bottom off what the problem is. Sorry about the low lighting. Alright, hang on. Alright, got you a little more light in there now. You can see what's going on. Maybe we can get this thing to focus. Maybe we can't. Nope, ain't gonna. Nope, ain't gonna focus. Okay. We'll back out. Yeah, you got some epoxy up in there, up on the top. Oh, that's fine. Come on. And try to glue it back together, and that's fine. It's a little bit wiggly. Yeah, no big deal. But we'll get the bottom off, and I'll show you what the problem is with this. And like I said, I'm going to try and replace it with one of these. And okay, you're probably all going, wait a minute, that ain't the bottom. Well, let me show you something. There's these screws I forgot about. There's one there, right there, right there, and there's one right there. The first time I took this thing apart, I about destroyed it, so I forgot about those. So you have to take the top off, take the sides off, and then you can take the bottom off. Alright, hang on here. Let's see if we can get this thing apart. There we go. Let's see. It's kind of a crazy design. It's just got this big old heatsink on the back. Big old monster. And then the rest of this is board. Anyway, this is what the problem is. If you look oh so slightly right here, I don't know if it's gonna, yeah, it's being a butt. Anyway, there's I'll try and include a picture in the video here. But the problem is these things have come unsoldered. It's kind of hard to show you. I did bring some more light over here, so. Now, some people can see this, some people can't, probably. But this one is broken loose. It's right here. It's pulled out. And this one's kind of wiggled loose. And they're all kind of broken, really. So, that is the thing I'm going to try and accomplish, is to fix that. So, anyway, we'll get the soldering iron heated up and take the solder off and see if we can remedy this problem. Stay tuned. Alright, back on this board. That's something I just noticed. I don't know if this was an afterthought or factory, but this is pretty sure this is a diode. And these two legs are unsoldered right here. So, we'll get those soldered back on and get that in order. But anyway, we're going to disconnect this and figure out where all those different traces go. That's the one I'm going to replace it with. And it's got separate signal lines, but it's only got one ground wire per side. So, and from what I've seen on this, it just is an extra one. So we'll have to see how this works. Turn you back on here. Alright, we're back here. I got the old one out of the board. And this is what happened. It got a little broken when it got pulled out. So, and the customer tried to epoxy it back together there on top. You can see he did a pretty good job. The problem was the solder broke loose on the board. So, didn't work anymore. Anyway, this is the new part here. And this is what I was talking about, is it only has one ground lead per set of conductors. And this actually has separate ground leads that go between the two. Now I've looked on the board, and where this goes in at, where these two tabs do, it goes from here over to here. And the other two go through a couple of resistors to the main, ground lead of the case, basically. So I don't know if that is a way to do grounding or what the heck the deal is with that. But we're going to try and go ahead and put this in, just like, just like so. Come on. Just like so. Looks pretty. It's in there. And then we're going to take a jumper on the bottom of the board here and just jumper these across, because I don't see a reason why you couldn't, because this is a monoblock amplifier. Look at the size of these traces. This baby means business. I mean, obviously you guys can see it from the power connectors. I mean, it's it's not screwing around. So anyway, we're going to try that. I'm going to go ahead and run with this. I don't know why they ran separate grounds to each one of these deals, because technically if you run a pair of stereo RCAs to this, it's going to have the same ground between the two. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to do that and then fire it up. So let me get you guys set back on the table here. I don't know where my tripod is, or else I'd use it. And we'll get this soldered up, and then we'll get it tested out here. It may not be today, it may be another day. I'm at home right now instead of my friend's house doing this. So it may be maybe tomorrow before I test it out, but we're definitely going to get this thing put back together. Like I said, I'm going to get a jumper wire between these grounds here. And like I said, the only thing I can figure out from the tracing is it comes over here, and then there's a resistor that goes to the ground of the main amplifier, kind of like the shield ground. And that's all there is to it. I get this thing soldered back on these two legs. Might need that too. But it's a pretty impressive amplifier. Power supply's over here. It's got some big old huge devices underneath the clip leads there. I hate these clips. Spring clamps. And then here's the output stage. I'm not exactly sure what it runs, but pretty good sized devices. And the caps run 75. What is it? Yeah, WV and 4700 microfarad. One of these days I'm going to figure out how the heck the manual focus works on this camera. It's not what I normally use. Normally I use the phone, so. Anyway, like I said, it's a monoblock, one output. So. Alrighty, well, we'll get her put back together. And, well, I'm going to stick this camera over here on the bench so you guys can see me solder this part in. And we'll put the jumper leads in too, just to make sure it works. Alright, kitchen. Alrighty, well, let's see if we can get this sucker soldered in. I know this isn't the best angle, but we'll do our best here. Alrighty. Get this sucker all soldered in and hooked up, and then we won't have to worry about it anymore. It should just work perfectly. Because other than the ground leads, I think that was the only thing that was different about it. Because the general connections, your left and right, was in the same place. So it should work out just fine. And I didn't know if you guys had noticed this or not, but the plastic retaining clips here are in the same place, so it snapped right in. So hopefully we can get the thing to work just fine. And this is a double-sided board, in case you guys are wondering why I'm sitting on there so long heating those. It does have connections on both sides, so give that a little more, that a little more, give this one a little more. And then we'll run our jumper lead from here to here and there to there. So we'll get you all set up here in just a second. And let me grab some wire and we'll put that in. Okay, well, we got this thing set up here. I tried to get the camera a little better for you guys. A little bit of tilt underneath it there. And we'll just go ahead first and tin these other holes. Put a little solder on them. And there was a speck of something on my lens there. I don't know if I got some flux that splattered up on the camera or what the deal was, but I took care of that. And we're getting these little bits of wire here prepped and ready. So I'm just going to make just a little jumper here out of a piece of copper, solid copper wire. You can use anything if you were doing this at home. And we'll put a little solder on the end here, and we'll go ahead and stick that in there. And no specificness on this as far as, you know, how it has to be or what have you. You can just see I got it just right there by it. It's fine. The only thing that you would, come on, there we go. The only concern would be the height of your piece of wire here sticking up. In fact, I might put some heat on this. There we go. There, that's better. Just a little jumper piece go between them. This right here would be my only concern, is how far up you come from the board. You've got a good, I don't know, quarter of an inch maybe that you can use, so you don't interfere with the bottom here. So, and this thing is quite an interesting piece of work as far as taking the bottom off or putting it on or whatever. So like I said, I was just gonna take the bottom off earlier. Yeah, that didn't happen. Had to disassemble the whole thing just to get to it. So anyway, I got our second one here bent up, and I bent it to go into the hole here, and then it goes across that way to lie across that pin there. Okay, I'll get a little solder on this. Do this off camera here for you so you don't get a bunch of smoke in your eyeballs. Don't want to get this in your eyeballs, that's for sure. So, anyway, let's go ahead and glue that in there with the old soldering iron. There you go. And we'll solder this one on. I'll push down on it a little bit, flatten it out. Oops. Get that one in the hole there. Get this one glued in over here. And I'll push this one back down. There we go. Alrighty. Just like that, boys and girls. Put a little more heat on that. A little dab of that. There we go. There we go. Good as new. We'll get that sucker on there. Those grounds jumpered across. Next, we're going to solder that sucker back on the board. His legs came loose, so let me turn it around and alright. It's kind of washed out. Let me turn down the light here a little bit. Maybe you can see that a little better. I said this isn't one of the best videos I've done. Okay, and I'm going to attempt to just put a little bit of solder on here and reflow this. Okay, that one worked. I think that's what everybody calls it nowadays, is reflowing. I call it just putting some more glue on it, because I think the pins broke off or something. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. But you're basically just soldering it back on, and yeah, they're on there now. So I'm going to touch this one again just because. Alright. I think that's it. I think that's all I need to do. They're on there. So we got that taken care of, and now we'll be able to put her back together, and hopefully, yeah, I've got to figure out how this focus works. Okay, we'll throw her back in the case. All the parts are over there. She should work just fine, because like I said, that's all that was wrong with it, is this stuff came off. So the rest of this looks pretty good. I've looked at it. That brown stuff there you see, that's solder flux. And sometimes they get a little wild and they don't clean it off at the factory. Everything else looks good. This thing's got 4 30-amp fuses in it. It's crazy. But looking at the size of these traces, it means business. So anyway, we're going to call this part 1 of the Memphis Audio. What was this? Oh, sorry about that. I'm horrible. But I'm going to try doing more of this live stuff, or uncut stuff like this. I still cut it up some, but not like it was. Anyway, it's the PR 1.1000 monoblock sub-amplifier, because it only has low pass and like that. So, hey, like I said, this is BP from PB Car Audio. Please give me a like, dislike, a comment if you want to, and remember to get subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click the little bell gear or whatever thing it is next to the subscribe they're using these days, and that way you will get notifications when I post new videos. Also check me out on Facebook at BP's Car Audio, all one word, link in the description, and at BP's Car Audio on Twitter. And thanks for watching.